Hey guys, it's HarleyWood. Welcome back. Today we're going to look at the Modlite PLHv2 handheld. Now, I've reviewed their rifle version of this same head before, and pros and cons. There's a lot of good things to it. In fact, I'll put a card right up here on the screen. I compared it to some of the other popular lights in the industry, like Surefire and Cloud Defensive, and I would say I was fair to them. I think some of you felt otherwise, so go watch those videos and let me know what you think. But before we get into this, today's video sponsored by XS Sights. Now, like many of you, the first time I ever saw XS sights were the big dots, all right? A lot of people call them the lollipop sights because they've got a bar underneath, like a tritium bar, and then the dot on top. And I'd always run a different style of sight. I've always run like a colored dot in the front with tritium dots in the back. Well, these are the R3Ds. These are exactly what I had always invested in. I had usually gone with like Trijicon or with night visions. These are much, much cheaper and every bit the same quality. Because I never really looked into their product line, I didn't know how much they actually offered. So they offer a ton outside of the lollipops and these. Rifle sights, shotgun sights, various pistol sights. So if you're like me and you've never really looked past the Big Dot series, there are many, many options to choose from. I'm gonna post a link in the description below. We appreciate them as a sponsor. Check them out. Now, one thing I've said pretty consistently about Modlite is that from an aesthetic perspective, these things are beautiful. I mean, it is hard to contend with the fact that they make some really good looking lights. There is something about this one that I'm not too fond of. We'll get into that in just a minute, but let's go over some of the specs. Right, there's your closer look at this. So you can see they come with those, is it therm? I'm not sure how you say it, but those therm pocket clips. Had no problems with it. It's very retentive. Is that a word? It retains well. This guy is 4 inches long, and without the battery, it weighs 3.6 ounces. With the battery, weighs 4.5 ounces. And I covered this in my previous video. The glass here uses a clear Borafloat lens, and they say it allows 98 to 99% of light transmission. And the warranty, they say it has a lifetime guarantee. Now, if you actually read the warranty page, it's a little bit vague, all right? It's almost like they leave themselves a little bit of wiggle room. So it says if something goes wrong, we stand behind our product, send it to us, and we'll troubleshoot it. They're not necessarily as clear as, for example, Cloud Defensive is with their warranty. With them, you drop it, you break it, it gets stolen, it gets burned up in a house fire, doesn't matter, they will replace it, no questions asked. Now there's 1,350 lumens out the front of this thing and a whopping 54,000 Candela, all right? So the Candela, if you're not familiar, is how it focuses that light and throws it out there. The lumens is just how much light it puts out, but Candela is how the reflector in here focuses that beam and how much distance it can get. Now, for frame of reference, if this is your first time watching my channel, that barn that you see there is 61 yards from where I'm standing, and it is 14 feet tall at the peak. So this hotspot on this is a little bit bigger than that 14 feet tall at 61 yards. And look at all the spill on this thing, all right? So most of that lumen is thrown down range in that hotspot, but it does still put off a decent amount. In fact, you can see my green egg table over here. So even if your focus is down range, you do still have some peripheral lighting. And way back in that dark spot, let me zoom in on this. Right there, you see that white spot? That is a steel target at 107 yards from where I'm standing, okay? So with this, I can easily see that target, and there is a little bit of mist in the air. If I bring the light out here, if it wasn't a little tiny bit misty out here, that would be even more pronounced. You'd be able to see it even better. So really nice throw on this thing. Easily able to PID something at 70, 80, maybe even 100 yards on a real clear night. Now traditionally I've been used to carrying lights just a little bit thinner than this, but I will say it's not that bad, okay? It's a tad bit bulky, but not bad. There are times where I have this and my pocket knife both in the same pocket, kind of staggered from each other. And every once in a while you stick your hands in there to get my AirPods or something like that, and you scratch the out of the back of your hand. But other than that, it's not too bad. And the price, these are currently running about $309 when you can find them in stock. So they do have an out of stock notification. So if you look and it's out of stock, enter your email address and they will notify you. That is how I got this one. I could not find it for the longest time. Finally, I got that email notification, jumped right on it, and was able to grab one. Now, I've beat up on Modlite a little bit in the past for their packaging. It's gotten a little bit better. Before, it literally came in this little flimsy black box, and I know most of it goes in the trash, but it's this brand perception thing, right? I've told you guys before, I work in marketing. I have for many, many years, so I understand the value of brand perception. And the first one that I received, I was just underwhelmed. This is moderately better. So here's what you will expect. It comes in a brown box, a little bit sturdy. Let's try this again. It comes in a brown box, and when you open it, make sure you don't let that slide out. Here is the presentation of it. And then inside is your charger, and obviously the battery will be in here. And let's talk about the charger. I also beat them up about this a little bit in the past. It's one of these cheap X-Tar chargers. I mean, you can buy these for a couple dollars on Amazon. They're not the best. They're not what I would recommend. I would recommend, like when Cloud Defensive ships one, it comes with a Nightcore charger. Much, much better option. But you guys are right. This usually goes in the trash. Wait, was my light in there? Let's talk about what I don't like about this light. So, the button on the back there, in fact, you can see it sticks up past the guard here just a little bit, and it takes very little pressure to activate this light. Watch this. Very little pressure. All right. So many, many times I have found this thing to ND in my pocket, all right, to negligently discharge. So it comes on in my pocket because I'll sit down, and when my legs come up, this presses into the tactical tummy or into my jeans or something like that. And because it requires so little pressure, the light easily activates. So maybe in the future, they'll come out with a version with a taller crown right here. I don't know, but that is probably my only gripe with this thing, aside from the price. I mean, they're Modlite, they're proud of their stuff, I get it. But is the price worth what you get? I don't know. I hear all these claims that Modlite is battle proven, and I've asked this question before. What does that mean? How are we defining battle proven? Like, okay, Surefire, I get it. A lot of guys are in the sandbox and we see them using Surefires. We see them beating up these Surefires. I have yet to see Mill or LEO using these in a real world application. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. And so I've asked this question before, and I've had guys respond and say, oh, these guys that, you know, they're Delta operators and they use them all the time on their YouTube channel. Great, fantastic, but show them to me in theater, right? That's what I want to see. I want to see that law enforcement is, you know, breaking through windows with these things and really putting them through their paces, and I haven't seen it. So if you guys have seen examples of that, please share it with me, and it's something that I will be happy to include next time I review a Modlite. And from a ruggedness standpoint, I'm gonna guess that this survives all of its drop test ratings. Let's test this. So I'm on a concrete floor. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm gonna drop this from my chin. No problem, all right, stayed on. Let's drop it on its face. Ooh, this one makes me nervous. All right, we're gonna drop it on the face. Yep, no problem. So again, from a ruggedness standpoint, dinged up my bezel there, so you can see. It's true, I do actually test my stuff. From a ruggedness standpoint, I'm sure it's gonna withstand the test of time. When you look at stuff like Cloud Defensive, theirs are a little bit more rugged, a little bit beefier. They use S7 tool steel on some of their bezels, things like that, and they actually encourage you to go, you know, use it as a impact weapon. We'll see. I want to see these in theater, but no doubt they're beautiful. Do something about that button, and we're good to go. That's it, guys. I'm going to put a link in the description below if you're interested in one of these. It's not an affiliate link. I'm not affiliated with them in any way whatsoever, but it is a beautiful flashlight if you can stomach that price. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Look, if you guys like giveaways, I'm not giving this away. If you guys like giveaways, I do a ton of them on this channel. The best way to be notified when I release a giveaway video is to enter my newsletter. So scroll down to the video description. There's a little thing that says show more. Pop it open, enter my newsletter. I don't spam you. I only notify you when cool giveaways and information comes to me. That's it. Appreciate your time as always. Lots more videos to come, and I'll see you in the next one.